I got a letter from Michelle last night, and I just wanted to read it because she is very much the same mind as me. We think alike and have the same suspicions about what's going on. Because, America saying they're bringing their troops here, understand this. They aren't doing it for Australians. They're doing it for Australia, for what we have. Uh, Make no mistake, we are the US of A's bitch. It's official. She sent this to me. Now, I'm going to put the links below. Read them. Uh, so anyway, I had a very uneasy feeling since the announcement of the deployment of the 2,500 US Marines in Australia. Then I come across this article, and I'll put this article up, and it's about US workers fast-tracked to Australian mines. And what they're doing is they're changing the 457 visa laws in Australia to fast-track the US workers over here to work in our mines. And in this part here, she said, a few people she knows with trade skills and heavy machinery licenses were trying to get into the mining industry for ages. They can't even get an interview. Now I know why. Our shifty government has used the controversy, and this is right, they covered all this up with the uranium, because everybody's going, oh, we're selling uranium to India now, and the Marines coming, and it was all swept under the carpet, them changing this law. And that's what they do. Governments are renowned for doing this. If something is going on, look in the background, because they'll be doing something underhanded somewhere else. Our shifty government has used the controversy of uranium in India and US Marines being based here to cover up that they are bringing in workers from the US to temporarily fill skills. The Australian government has changed the 457 temporary work visa so they can fast-track US miners. That's all what's in this article here. I didn't hear anything about it, did you? I did not hear one word about it. Under the new rules, they'll be able to stay up to 6 years. Hardly temporary, I feel. And then she pointed out something that was read in here, and it says, the Obama administration is understood to have postponed an announcement about changes to the 457 visa system for temporary foreign workers until next week as the White House focuses on plans to increase US presence in Australia. The Obama administration is understood to have postponed announcements to our system. When the fuck did we become the 51st state of America that this piece of shit is telling us that we're changing our rules? I'll end up like Alex Jones of fucking smashing something. It makes me so wild to see this going on right under our noses. We are being taken over, and like I said, the night when they said they first bring those in, I asked somebody. I said, what do you think about the US troops coming? They said, oh, yeah, no, that's a good thing. They are totally fucking blind to what's going on. They have no idea. See, Australians are racist. Let's just, you go out and ask most Australians what they would think about all these Asians or whatever. They're racist. They'd be jumping up and down. But because it's the good old US of A coming in, and they will just flood us. And like I said, we have the resources, we're not overpopulated, we have everything here. We have the mining risk, they've got the coal, the uranium, we have everything here. And let me get to the rest of this. And then I read the latest entry on the Enterprise. The Reinhardt changes his website. She's linked another website here about all the mines and that in Australia, which I'll put the link there so you can go and have a look. And then she goes on to say, so here's a few of my late night musings as to what will happen or may happen in the future, not in chronological order. Ha ha. And I agree with her. She says, the only way the US and Europe to get out of the economic trouble and high unemployment is to go to war. With all the radiation leaking about Japan, that's another thing that we never hear about over here, is that Japan is nothing but a nuclear waste dump now because they're still leaking radiation. We don't hear anything about it here. We don't hear anything. You know, we're just so fucking blind. Nobody wants to get involved. We had a show over here called The Block, and it was a renovation show, I think. I don't know. I don't watch it, but I did watch the news, and it showed thousands and thousands of people lined up around the block to go and see these houses that they were selling from the show, The Block. This is the mindset of Australians. They'll get off their ass for celebrity and bullshit fucking things like this, and yet they'll let this shit go on, and they'll turn. I remember telling one of my family members about politics and about what was going on, and she said to me, "Don't say anything, don't tell me anymore, I don't want to hear it." I said, "Oh, you want to be an ostrich, do you?" She said, "Yes, I do." This is exactly why we're in the shit we're in. With the radiation leaking around Japan and Japan's proximity to China, the US needs a safe place for their military to store vital equipment and have troops. Their backup location. Yeah, we're America's bitch. We're mini America here, okay? We act like it the way we carry on about, oh, it's a celebrity, blah, blah. I went on a game show. I keep digressing, I'm sorry. I went on a game show once and it went to air, and this was 10 years ago or something, and I went into a shop one day, and the woman in there, she said, "Oh, you were on TV last night." She was just all over me. I was on TV for about 5 seconds, and she was just, and this is the mindset, you know, oh my God, they're on TV there, so they've got to know them, got to touch them, you know, it's just bullshit. They've got no understanding of the real concept of what's going on, reality. They're so brainwashed. They've done such a good job of brainwashing us. Anyway, back to this. US, a backup location. If there is a nuclear incident in the Northern Hemisphere, Australia is a safe haven to retreat to. The US is after rare mineral deposits, and they need for their sophisticated war technology. China has locked their rare mineral deposits up, and the US is unable to access them. So I'm predicting that there will be announcement of new mines opening that will need new workers that have specific skills that are not available in Australia. With the increase of US Marines and US workers here in Australia, the US government will demand that we increase our security around airports and introduce TSA-like procedures. And Australia, being the gullible fools we are, we sit there and we do. We go, oh yes, we need it. It's like this bullshit they just brought up now about, oh, we've got to protect ourselves from trying to get the US troops in here. And that's what Australians are like. Oh yes, no, by all means, bring in all these scanners and you know, invade my privacy, please, to keep me safe. They've got no fucking idea what they're giving up. They are so brain dead. They've been manipulated so much by the media, and the media is probably the biggest people to blame out of this whole thing, because they're the ones that should be telling us on the news what's going on, but they're not. They're all a pack of fucking snotty-nosed scumbags that get in there and tell you whatever, you know, some bullshit story. The crap they have. The latest one, I was watching 60 Minutes, they had an interview with Brad Pitt. Who fucking cares what Brad Pitt's doing? There will be a terrorist incident. This is one of our other predictions. There will be a terrorist incident. Could be an attack or a plan that has been discovered before it actually happens, which is what they're good for over here. Oh, we found this guy who was going to blow up, blah, blah, blah. Involving a mine or a port, and the US Marines will be the ones who come to the rescue. The sheeple here in Australia will then be screaming out for a greater US military presence. And I was listening to Alan Jones, you know, he's probably the closest thing to I have to an idol, because he gets up there and he's been awakened to a few things, but when it came to this military presence, he has just fallen right into the trap. He was on there going, yes, it's a very good thing they're here in Australia, and he just fell right into it. These are just my own personal opinions, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, but for the most part, it's a gut feeling. She said, maybe I should just try not to be so paranoid. No. It's not paranoia, it's the truth. It's as plain as tits on a ball. There's an Aesop fable, Allsop fable. I can't remember what it's called. It's something about, it's a crocodile and he's taking some animal, a little animal across the river, and the animal doesn't want to get on his back, and he goes, no, trust me, get on, it's safe. And anyway, this little animal gets on, and he gets him halfway across the river and he eats him. And that's us. We're so gullible, we've jumped on the crocodile's back. Oh my God. Think to yourself, Australians, think to yourself, do you really think for 1 second that we mean anything to the USA except a free fucking lunch? Because that's what we are. We're sitting ducks here for them to come in and take whatever we want, and we're so gullible, we're going to go, yeah, come on in and take everything. Anyway, it's Sunday and it's early, so best I not get too worked up at this. Well, I'm already worked up. So anyway, guys, you smile and have a nice day.